So here we are again. In our last lesson, we talked about the standard tags, H1, H2, P. There's some other ones for a list, LI, unordered list, then you can add items to a list item. Anyway, we talked about the standard tags. In this one, we're going to talk about how do you add styles. And before we do that, we should talk about an HTML document. Right now, this is really more of an HTML snippet, and you use these things all the time, especially as you begin using templates with handlebars and Angular and with React and other frameworks in JavaScript. But this isn't a true document here. HTML, if you want a full document, has a few key pieces. There, you have an HTML wrapper here. Say, okay, this is an HTML. There's a head, there's a body, and then you go ahead and we paste that in. Now, if you noticed, Chrome actually was automatically adding this for us, because our code before it was just from here to here, and Chrome was just automatically adding this wrapper here. Now we actually have a real document, and there's a document type up here, and we're not going to talk about that right now because it honestly doesn't matter most of the time. But inside the head, we're going to add something like a title, and we're going to say sharks. We'll just put sharks. So when I refresh the page now has a title. You'll also notice that head doesn't show up anywhere on the visible page here. So there are special tags that don't show up anywhere. Another example of that is we're going to add a style tag. So suppose I have a style tag and I say, we love sharks the most ever. Trying to do some bad grammar here intentionally. And if we refresh it, you notice that doesn't show up. And the reason for that is there's special tags that are reserved inside of HTML. Another one is a script tag when we get to JavaScript. But anyway, let's just talk about what they're used for and why they're special. I'm actually going to throw the style tag up here, and we're going to add some styles to shark. So previously I showed you that you can add an attribute to an element or tag, whatever you want to call it. They're used interchangeably, the two words. And we can say background color equals light blue. Let's make sure that's working. Awesome, now sharks are light blue. However, this gets really messy looking. Additionally, let's suppose that we wanted to add another H1 down here. Oops. And we wanted to talk about whales. Maybe we'll just have a little whales live in the ocean. You'll notice that whales, we want whales to be background to blue as well. And so anyway, this is known as an inline style. And we avoid them for lots of reasons. Probably the biggest one is if you want a standard look and feel, like if we want all H1s to have that style, we have to copy and paste it. And this becomes difficult to read and harder to maintain. It works. Let's suppose that we want to change it to a lime ocean. Oh, that looks terrible, but the point is that now we have to change it in two places. So let's kind of ignore this inline style here for a minute, or more importantly, let's get rid of it. And it's called inline because you can see it's a single line. It's in line with what you're doing. A better way is we're going to add a style sheet. So inside here, I'm going to put a little comment here, style sheet. And as the name might suggest, it's going to be a sheet of styles. And this is the CSS language. So there's various selectors, and the most basic one is you put the name of the tag. So I'm going to say H1, and then you open and close it, and then you put background color, and you light blue. And you can see that it's being applied to both of these. And you can see as much if you right click on it and you do styles. it will then tell us that H1 it is receiving a background color of light blue from index.6 or line 6. And you can see that if you go down to index, line 6 is where it's getting its style from. Anyway, so that is a style sheet, and that is the most basic selector. In the next lesson, we're going to begin looking at other selectors. How do you target attributes and other things?